here with Butch. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yes, absolutely.
Drummer of the French metal band Akiavel. Welcome.
Indeed. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure.
Let's begin from your beginning. You are a rather new band. You were created back in 2018. Yes. And you have really caught the eye of the attention with what you do. Tell us a few things about how it all began, and then we'll move on to Victis.
Okay, so yeah, the band was created back in 2018 by Ore, the singer, and the bass player Jay, and the guitarist Chris. So all three created the band, and they knew each other from other bands, French bands, and they all had a previous career, each in a different band. So they gathered to create this new band, Akiavel. They had no drummer at the beginning, so they immediately decided to record a three-title album, a small EP that you can find on Spotify and all the platforms, with a beatbox, with a machine instead of a drummer. And these first three songs caught the eye for all the metal industry in France, and they directly signed with a record company for the first album, but they still needed a drummer, so they contacted me. They found me through friends and on YouTube, so they decided I had to join them, which was eventually the case. So I joined them at the very end of 2018. In 2019, we began the process of writing the first album, which is called Five. We did a couple of gigs just to try and learn each other. Yeah, absolutely. Amongst which the off side of the Hellfest Festival in France. So it was very good to play in big venue like that, even before having recorded our first album. So 2019 was dedicated to knowing each other and composing the album. At the beginning of 2020, after one full year of being together, we went in the studio to record Five, which was released in February 2020, which means 1 month before the global lockdown and the COVID crisis. So we were ready to hit the stage by March 2020, but everything was closed, and we had to find something else to do. So we had a cool first album, but we could not play it live. So we decided to write the second album, Victis, which was eventually recorded at the end of 2020 and released at the beginning of 2021.
I see. From the first album to the second one, you went into creating your own record label, being independent. What made you do that?
It's a very good question. We had the chance to have a label for the first album, as I told you, and it was good, and it's not very common for a new band to be signed right away. So it was very convenient, but then we realized that we could do what we wanted to do if we were independent, and we could do at least as good as a label could do. So we've decided to finance everything on our own, but to get everything back for us and to be completely independent. So in terms of writing our songs, of course, also creating our music video, which is something important for us. All our the atmosphere, the world into which we want to take the public is our own. We want to be completely free to create and have nothing to explain or to justify to anything, to anyone. So that's why we did it, and we are still very happy, and that's probably why we would do the same thing for the third album.
I see. Talking about the atmosphere that you want to create and your videos and the way you present yourselves, I found online the characterization of your music being groove, thrash, black, old school death with melodic riffs and some hardcore elements. How do you think that you're kind of defying every rule and combining many diverse elements into one result? Is that some sort of, is it because of your influences? Is it something that you try to do intentionally? Tell me about your creative process.
Yeah, I can do that. But first, it's important to know if you think it's true. Can you hear some groove, thrash, and old school death metal elements in our music?
Well, I do. And the fact is that I think that the way that you combine these diverse elements is what makes you unique.
Thank you. Yeah. So to answer your question, it's indeed something that is not really designed to be like that. I mean, it's completely natural. We are 4 members, and we come from very diverse and different backgrounds. So we are a bit old. We are all in our 40s now. So we have been playing for at least 20, if not 30 years. So we come from very different universe, and it turns out, and we realize very quickly that we don't even have the same background and references when it comes to talking to music. So we all know Metallica, Iron Maiden, or basic big bands. But then, for instance, I never heard Carcass record, for instance, which is a main band that loves Ore, for instance. But when it comes to me, it's Testament, Obituary, or all the thrash or Slayer stuff. Jay, the bass player, who is one of the main writer of the band, listen to many kinds of music, amongst which a big part is hardcore. So he loves hardcore music, and I don't have any real culture in this subgenre. So we all have different influences, and then when we compose something, we just have a riff or a pattern, and then we just say, what would you do on that, and what would you do on this riff, and then we play some Akiavel naturally. I mean, but yeah, we realized it was something different. We even sometimes have some pop elements in our music. Some riffs are very poppy. I don't know if we can say that, but yeah, it's completely natural, and yeah, it works, and we love it. Yeah.
Something, isn't it risky? I mean, where do you draw the line and say we can go up to there creatively because that's our sound? If we cross that line, it's no longer Akiavel.
Akiavel is the four of us. So if we want to do something completely different, even reggae or classic music, nothing would preclude us from doing that. I mean, we, as we say, are completely independent, and we want to stay like that. There's like an alchemy between the four of us, and we just want to do the music we want to listen to. Basically, I mean, since we don't have anything to justify to anyone, the main goal of Akiavel is to create the music we are the main fan of. I mean, and it's weird to say that. I hope it's the case of all the bands in this world, but we are our first fans. I mean, we listen to Akiavel in driving our cars or doing anything else. We love listening to Akiavel, not because it's our music, but because it's the music we want to listen to. They're all the aspects of the music we love. So if for the third album or in the next albums we want to create something else, to try some new sounds, some new stuff, why not? Then we know that it's different from the beginning. Now we have some fans following us, so we kind of have a duty to respect the band that they like, but it's first of all our band. So if we want to drag the public to something else, to new atmospheres or new sounds, we will do that. But be reassured, we won't be playing reggae tomorrow. So it's still Akiavel, and we are currently in the process of writing, and we will soon 2 weeks from now begin the recording of the new album, and it sounds like Akiavel. So be reassured, but there might be some bit different sounds. We want to evaluate, and we cannot record the same album each time we go in a studio.
Okay, can you tell me a few things about the new album, since you mentioned it?
It's not recorded yet, so it's difficult to say something, but it's I don't know if we can say that. At least it's what I feel, and we never talked about that amongst the group. But I would say the first album is more like hardcore, raw, punk, violent. The second album would, to me, it's completely personal, but be more death metal, more a lot of double bass, and cleaner in terms of production. And the third album would probably, but it's not recorded, sound more thrashy, I think. So less death metal, and but yeah, it's we will see if it's the way it turns out when we record it. But that's what I could tell from the demo and all the material we have yet
so far. Yes.
Yeah. It will also, as the two previous albums, be a concept album, and with a specific atmosphere and a specific themes of the lyrics. So each album has a main topic for the lyrics. This is not public yet, so I cannot tell about that.
Okay, so we'll have to stay in touch and let us know when it's time. One more thing that I've noticed about the band and appreciate very much is the fact that even though you have a woman in your vocals, you don't use her feminine side to draw attention to the band, and that's very respectful of you. Tell me about it.
Yeah, it's something also natural. It's not something we have decided in a meeting saying that we should do that or this. And it's the way we are, the way Ore, the singer, is. She doesn't want to be considered as mainly a woman. She's mainly a death metal singer, and that's it. Many people, when they listen to Akiavel, cannot tell that it's a woman that sings. It's crazy, and every time you can do the test with someone that doesn't know Akiavel, you would be sure it's a guy singing. So it's good We love it. We want her to sing like that. She loves singing like that. Then it's something that might be shocking to some people that are, since it's not what is these days appreciated by the public, with Ginger, Winter Sea, or many bands having the girl singing, but with two different voices. So it's a way. It's also some new metal influences or stuff like that. It's the current state of the metal industry likes it to have two different types of voices, clear and growl. And we are not like that. We don't want to do as many other bands do, and very well. We are Akiavel, and we do that on our own and by our own. And so there's no reason to do as the other do. But yes, I know some people say, yeah, it's weird. It's a bit sad. Ore is not singing in a clear voice, but yeah, that's not what we want to do. So
we like her raw.
Thank you. And we know that many people like this aspect, but again, it's not in the current mood of the metal industry, but we don't care, and we do what we want to do. So we're very happy to hear that you like it.
Very good drummer, I know, and very well recognized. I'm not going to say the name. Says your band is only as good as your drummer. Not to mention Metallica, that's an exception.
Yeah, indeed.
However,
he was very good, and he has written some very cool parts. Then when he plays live nowadays, it's a bit different, but he used to be an excellent drummer.
Okay. Do you agree with that statement? A band is as good as her drummer? Because being the drummer in Akiavel, that carries a lot of weight on you.
Yeah, absolutely. It's difficult, of course, to play like that, and it's daily training. I train every day to maintain my level, and it's not easy. It's at least 1 or 2 hours per day to maintain and to be able to play these songs live. So it's a lot of work, but yeah, I think it's true. With a bad drummer, your band cannot be excellent. Then when it comes to Akiavel, I don't know, and I cannot tell if my drumming is very important. I think it's as important as the 3 other musicians. Akiavel is very dense, and we are 4 individualities and 4 very strong persons when it comes to negotiating or having some opinions. And we are also very strong when we play music. So each one, and when you see Akiavel live, each one is very present, very his or her playing is very dense on stage, and you can hear and see it. We are 4 members, and there's none of us which is stronger or more important or more visible than the others. So Ore is very important, but Ore without us would not be Akiavel, and it's the same for the 4 of us. So yeah, my playing is important, but Chris's guitar playing is crucial to our band. So yeah, I'm very convinced that my drumming is not more important than the others' presence and playing.
I see. Tell me about your future plans. What are you up to? You told me that you're about to go into the studio. What about live shows? Have you?
We have been playing some festivals back in the end of 2021. The last quarter, we played a lot in France. We are playing currently some shows there and there, just small shows in France, just for fun and to prepare the new album, to test some stuff live, and but we are really concentrating on the studio. Then, as from September, we will be back on the road, and we will shortly be announcing a tour. Unfortunately, it will mainly be in France still due to COVID and the current international situation. Touring abroad is not that easy. But we are at the end of the year be playing at least 15 shows everywhere in France. Then for 2023, we are currently discussing and negotiating some cool shows, big festivals in France and in Europe. So for next year, we might well be traveling over Europe in the main festivals. So that would be cool, and it's currently being discussed. But we cannot announce, nothing is decided and signed yet, but it will shortly be announced, I hope.
Tell me about how the audience reacts to you. I mean, when you go into a show, maybe a festival, in between other bands, are there the fans come for you, and how have you traced fans that listen to you for the first time and experience your music for the first time, and how do they react?
We were completely overwhelmed by the reaction of the public when we began in last September the playing in the festivals. Of course, people knew each other, but it was not the main part of the audience. Like, I don't know, 10 or 20%, I have no idea, but it was a minority that knew Akiavel, and we could tell that from the fact they were asking for some songs in between the shows, or they were wearing our t-shirts or things like that. But yeah, we were completely aware that most of the audience didn't know Akiavel. But every time we played in a festival like that, we were the kind of the highlight of the festival. People were completely amazed by our show, and it's something cool for us. We could not expect something that big, and even with international bands, we played in the Mency Festival. It's next to Paris. We played with very cool international bands. I could not name, but German or UK bands, and we were as almost as well welcomed by the audience as these big bands, as newcomers, but as being very powerful, dance, intense music, and like a smash in your face. So yeah, the audience reacted very well, and it's cool. And then every time we play, we have hours of discussion with the fans. Then at the merchandising part, and then the audience just all the audience is saying, yeah, it's crazy, we did not know you, and we just discovered the best band of the night. And so it's very cool, frankly. So we know that when we play, we have a big chance of being loved by the audience. So we just need to play live and to be discovered by metal fans, and then we know our music mainly is mainly appreciated. We cannot be liked and loved by everyone on this planet, of course, but we know that we have a big chance to be appreciated by metal fans when they know us.
I see. Thank you very much. You're lovely. I wish you all the best. And
thank you very much.